In the 20 plus years that I've been on the internet, I've come across a litany of different content all over the web. So I can't say I'm too surprised about a lot of the shit that I see. But what I'm talking about today takes the fucking cake. The other day, I came across a video on TikTok by a user named Adriana or Rebecca, and a specific video caught my attention.
This is not like racism, it is racism. Anti-fatness is rooted in anti-blackness. And the reason why people are pursuing thinness is because they're pursuing proximity to whiteness. The reason why people hate fat people is because people hate black people. And appearing curvier, bigger is associated with blackness, especially black women. And that's why they're discriminated in the workplace, overly sexualized. And this has gone back for centuries and centuries. All systems of oppression, capitalism, sexism, racism, it all comes back to white supremacy, which is the foundation of the fabric of America and rules every sector and aspect of our society.
I seriously can't believe this is still a thing. So as you heard, she says that anti-fatness is rooted in anti-blackness, which is one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard in my entire life. And believe me, I've seen and heard some shit. Now, even if that were to be true back in the day, it obviously has nothing to do with today. And this is what people like her do, make everything about the past when there's no correlation. Take this Joker, for example.
So it's always so interesting when you hear people talking about, oh, black folks can't swim. And it's like, that's because of racism and anti-blackness. So back in the day, before desegregation, there used to be a whole bunch of public pools where black kids could go swimming and do all of those things. So after desegregation, you started to see all of these images popping up of white people pouring acid and snatching white kids out of pools where black people were in. Then there were stories of how a whole pool was drained because Sammy Davis Jr. got in it, and stories around Dorothy Dandridge, the scene from the movie where she stuck her toe in the pool and then they drained it. What they don't tell you is that after desegregation, they cemented in more than 2,000 swimming pools in the country, primarily in black neighborhoods. This was also the rise of country clubs, which became exclusive to whites only so that their kids could still learn how to swim. So when we see black folks drowning at 4 and 5 times the rate of white people, just know it is not by chance. It is all by design.
And here's my take on that.
Talking about, oh, black folks can't swim, and it's like, that's because of racism and
This is so embarrassing. I can't believe we're part of the same race. So you go on to say that black people today can't swim because our ancestors before weren't given the option to. Where's the correlation? That's like me saying the reason I can't go to college is because my ancestors before couldn't go to college. It doesn't make sense. The reason I can't go to college is because I can't afford to do so. Why is it that people like you always want to basically relate things back to the past when it has nothing to do with each other? It's like, okay, an hour just went by. Well, you're not focused on the hour that just happened. You're literally focusing on the time that it is now. You're not focused on then. You're focused on now. Look, I just want everybody to understand this. Our ancestors are dead. Yours, mine, our ancestors are dead. They did what they had to do to lay the foundation down so we can get to where we are today, so we don't have to struggle the way that they had to. And yet every single now and then I always hear somebody pulling out some sort of bullshit out of their ass and equating it to the past that has nothing to do with each other, always bringing something up about like, oh, well, this is rooted in racism, this is rooted in racism, blah, blah, fucking blah. You know what? If y'all want to actually end racism, then fucking stop talking about it. Stop making every little fucking thing about race, because not everything is racist. Like, for Christ's sake, straight black men have been dubbed the white people of the black community. How fucking stupid it's now racist to do this. It's now racist to do that. I mean, for fuck's sake, taking care of your fucking skin is racist, especially if you're a white person that uses a charcoal face mask. Let that sink in. A charcoal face mask is racist. Honestly, the second every single person on here stops actually living in the past, equating everything to the past, trying to make something an issue that is not, making everything about race when it doesn't have anything to do with race. The second everybody can stop doing that and actually focus on the actual issues that we're dealing with right now, stop linking everything to the past, stop making everything about the past, just focus on right now, the issues that we have right now, then maybe we can work together to move forward. But until then, we ain't gonna make no progress because y'all say, like I said, y'all say we need to fight racism, we need to end racism, but then continue to make things about race. Black people not knowing how to swim has nothing to do with racism, at least not today. What happened back then has nothing to do with today. You ever stop to think that, hey, maybe these people don't want to learn how to fucking swim? Some people have a fear of drowning. And besides, to basically just say that black people not knowing how to swim is a racist construct is completely fucking stupid. It has no merit whatsoever. Because there's nothing stopping anybody today from going out anywhere and learning how to swim.
And the responses to OP's video are saying that's a horrible take on things, which brings me back to this person. These are the type of people that scream end racism but actively promote racism, especially against white people.
If you don't do this, you're racist against people of color and minorities.
What kind of shit is that?
And here's what makes it even better. She's a Latina speaking on behalf of black people, yet the same people she's advocating for aren't agreeing with her and are calling her stance for what it is: complete stupidity and utter bullshit.
Health isn't about race.
Pursuing thinness is because they're pursuing proximity to whiteness. The reason
First off, this woman truly sounds like she hates herself. Secondly, she has no idea what she's talking about, because being pro-black would mean you would want people to be in shape. You would want people to be at their healthiest so that they can fight diseases, so that they can live longer. But that's clearly not what people want these days. So if you didn't know this, 80% of the people who were hospitalized and or died due to COVID were obese. They were unhealthy and they had comorbidities, one of them being obesity. So if you want to talk about real health and caring about brown people and all this crappity doodah that people want to spew, let's talk about eating real food. Let's talk about stop taking prescription drugs. Let's talk about exercising on a daily basis. That is the cure to a lot of these things: ADHD, depression, obesity, but yet no one wants to talk about the facts, the truth, that real health comes.
Bro, why is everything freaking racism? I swear, in order to justify things, people will be like, "Oh, well, if you don't like it, if you don't support it, you're racist. You're against like, oh my gosh, you're against people because it's racist to be that way." Do you see me right now?
Not only am I not fat, neither are any of my two sisters or my mother.
Earlier today, I was having a conversation with my dad and my brother, and we were talking about our exercise routines and the gains that we've had in the past few months from said exercise routines. I'm not telling anyone to go shout at someone who's fat and tell them that they're not worthy and that they shouldn't be loved, because I believe that everybody should feel loved. Everybody should feel worthy. And when you feel that way about yourself, and when you actually feel great about yourself, you want to be as healthy as possible. This means that you will make the necessary sacrifices to ensure that you are a healthy person, which means exercising and eating well and being mindful of your thoughts. Stop the cap. Anti-fatness is not anti-black, it's not racist. More so than anything, it is just a visual representation to people that you don't seem to care enough about your own health to do something about it, and that makes people uncomfortable. Not to say that skinny people aren't unhealthy too, because I know many who are also unhealthy. They don't eat well, they don't exercise, but they have fast metabolisms. Regardless of whatever cards you were dealt in your life, if you really want to be healthy, you can do it if you believe that you can do it, and if you adopt the right habits to aid you in getting there. That's it.
is rooted in anti-blackness. And the reason why people are pursuing thinness is because they're pursuing...
Okay, what you're not going to do is just excuse your laziness for not working out and try to use racism to justify you being overweight and you being unhealthy. See, what you don't want to do is put down the donuts, put down the cakes, put down the pies, put down the Twinkies, get in the gym, work out, be responsible for your health. No, you want to blame it on something stupid like racism, anti-fatness, I can't even say it. Anti-fatism is anti-race. What? What are you talking about? It's not even about black or white or anything. It's about you look in the mirror, you bettering yourself, and you put in the work. Put down the cupcakes, put down the Twinkies. Stop blaming everything. There's a bunch of clowns. I'm tired of you people, I swear.
And just like dude said, she's not happy with how she looks, but doesn't want to get off her lazy ass and hit the gym. But what makes it even worse is the hypocrisy of TikTok itself. Here's my response to her video.
The reason why people hate fat people is because people hate black people.
Shut the ever-loving fuck up! This has nothing to do with race. I cannot believe you were literally sitting there and saying that people hate fat people because people hate black people. Bitch, what the fuck? I'm black. I'm 130 fucking pounds soaking fucking wet. I have a hard time gaining and maintaining weight. But I don't sit there and say that, oh, well, my weight issues is because, well, I'm black and the whole... It doesn't fucking work. It doesn't fucking work. You're literally like that guy that's actually out there saying that the reason why black people today don't know how to swim is because 60 fucking years ago, our ancestors didn't have access to community swimming pools. Okay, and... just because it's something that happened 60 years ago doesn't have anything to do with now. I learned how to swim by different methods. Lakes, creeks, rivers, the fucking ocean. And yet, not once have I ever been like, oh, well, I don't know how to swim because of racism. And that's exactly what's going on here. Bruh, I kid you not. I've never been so fucking heated with this shit before in my life. But this shit has got to stop. You have got to stop making everything about race. Not everything is about race. Somebody wants to lose fucking weight. Okay, let them do that. Y'all literally out here telling people that, hey, live your life, do what you do, boo boo, all this, that, and the other, blah, fucking blah. But the second they actually want to change something about themselves for the better, like losing weight, y'all want to come down and actually demonize them for doing it instead of congratulating them for making one of the most difficult choices that somebody can make, and that's actually turning their life around for the better. I can say this for sure. I am a recovering alcoholic, but do I go around blaming anybody else for why the fuck it is that I chose the bottle? No, I don't. I blame myself. Yes, there were things and even people that were catalysts to my drinking, but they're not the ones that made me pick up a bottle. They're not the ones who forced it to my mouth and forced me to drink. No, I made that choice myself. So you know what? When it comes down to it, let these people live their fucking lives, okay? That's all they're trying to do. And people like you coming out and telling them that they're wrong for going against something that you just want to do yourself because you're unhappy with your own fucking life is not the way to go. Leave these people alone. Let them live their fucking lives, because all you're doing is showing how much of a fucking insensitive jackass you are. Somebody wants to lose weight, congratulate them. Don't demonize them for it. Don't give them shit for it. Somebody wants to change their life for the better, wants to do something in their lives, let them do it. Y'all literally saying, yes, queen, slay, do your thing. Don't let nobody tell you what to do. And yet this is exactly what y'all are doing. Man, fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Now, you're probably wondering where the hypocrisy comes in, and it's here. I tried uploading that video 3 times, and each time it was taken down for abusive behavior.
Huh?
At first, I thought it was because I tagged her in it and she reported it because she didn't like my response. But the 3rd time, I didn't tag her and it still got taken down. Yet, they still allow her video to remain even though it spreads misinformation and a racist rhetoric. But they also allow this.
Where's the button? Let's go. My friend!
And even though that video is faker than my ex's orgasms, it still shows inappropriate use of dangerous tools or objects and stunts that may lead to injury or property damage.
Nigga!
This is why I'm glad I only use this platform to basically just watch the hilarious videos that my friends and family send me, or basically just to promote my YouTube videos. If we're gonna end racism, then we need to stop making everything about race. Not everything is racist, not everything is sexist. And do you notice that the vast majority of people saying that this is racist, that is racist, are white people? White saviors, please shut the ever-loving fuck up and stop speaking for people of color. Y'all aren't coming up with any solutions. You're adding to the fucking problem. You're creating more problems. Let these people live their lives and do what they want to do. Only interfere if the health and safety of themselves or others is at risk.